Talking now with Ferris State head coach Jeff Pierce as the Bulldogs prepare for this week's trip to Indianapolis. Coach, first, let's review last week. I know a disappointing outcome for your team against Grand Valley.
Yeah, it definitely was. Our expectation was to be able to come in and compete and have an opportunity to win that football game, and obviously it didn't come out that way. And you know, there's no question about it. Grand Valley has a very dominant football team, and they dominated us on the line of scrimmage, both offensively and defensively, and really made it challenging. And we didn't come through and make some of the football plays that we had to make to keep that ball game or stay in that ball game, and it got away from us. And you know, that was very disappointing. But we've got to be able to put that behind us right now and move forward, and not let that take us back. I mean, we have to treat that as a learning experience. You know, we had some of our younger players in that ball game get matched up against some veteran guys that are pretty talented, and I don't know if they've seen that kind of action before, but it's a matter of us picking ourselves up and going again.
This week you have a long trip to Indianapolis. What type of challenges do the Greyhounds present?
Well, Indianapolis is a very good football team, and every one of these teams that we play, you know, we've got our hands full. And they went up last weekend and beat Northern Michigan up at their place. It was kind of almost like a baseball score up there. I think it was 6-5 type of thing. But it's one of those situations that we have to now go on the road and go down there and play them, and we've got to be able to bounce back off this last weekend's setback and go down there and really get our game back online, and that's what our plan is. We've had a good week of practice. It's all about preparation. I think this football team continues to improve, even though we have our setbacks, and that's what we have to do against Indianapolis to come up with a win.
A couple years ago, you had an exciting game down in Indianapolis in your last trip down there. It's a night contest. It should be a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, you know, they've done a lot in their facilities and really create a nice atmosphere. We'll play Saturday night, be kind of a long ride home afterwards, but it is a good situation where you know, we'll probably play in front of a good crowd and those kind of things, and it's up to us, you know, to get our game to where it needs to be.
You've got 3 games remaining here in the regular season. What are your goals to try to finish the season on a strong note?
Well, all 3 of these football teams are very good football teams, you know, and as we go through the final stretch of the football season, we knew that from the beginning it was going to become more challenging as we went along. But it was a matter of us building and developing our team as we go through the season to be able to be ready for these type of challenges that we're going to have in front of us. I'm going 1 game at a time, you know, and that's what I always do. Our focus is to win the most important game on our schedule, and that's the next game, and that's to go down and play well against Indianapolis and get that win. And once we're done with that, then we'll reload and get ourselves ready for the next opponent. But it's going to be tough, and it's an opportunity to be able to, you know, be very successful in this last stretch if we continue to improve as a football team like we have to.
Indianapolis obviously has a new head coach this season, some new staff members. What do you know about them based on what you've seen?
Well, their head football coach had been there in the past. I've known him about as long as I've been in the business. Many, many years ago, he was a head football coach at Butler University, and then after that changed and they went out of the conference, he went on to Ball State, was a defensive coordinator at Ball State. He was over at Central Michigan for a while as an assistant coach. Then ended up going back to Indianapolis area, that's his home area, and worked as a defensive coordinator with Joe Polizzi. And Joe was at one time here at Ferris and very familiar with all those guys. And Joe decided to step aside last year, and he took over, and we're going to get a lot of this similar type of things because he was part of the foundation of that football program in the previous years.
What do you see as some of the keys for your team in Saturday's game as you try to pull out a win on the road?
Well, we just have to execute at a very high level. You know, our offense, you know, has shown some very encouraging things as we've come through the course of the football season. We've had our moments, and then sometimes we stop ourselves and we don't continue to capitalize on drives or drop balls or have things happen to us that you know, doesn't allow us to put it in the end zone. We got to get that back on track. You know, we've got to be able to you know, produce and put some points on the board. You know, our defense got challenged last week. They got to rebound and get back to where they are capable of playing. I mean, we played very dominant defense for the majority of the football season, and it's going to take all 3 phases of our game, you know, to get playing efficient football.
Thanks, Coach, and best of luck down in Indianapolis.
Thank you.